How do you put on this hat? It's such a weird hat.
I don't know, man. You sent me one and I can see through mine. I feel like maybe I could rob, I could rob a bank. Maybe. I mean, I don't want to. They don't have, can you rob Bitcoin? Can you do that in a mask?
You can
Give me
rob
all your Bitcoin. Can you do that?
You can rob anything with a coin. Oh, man. These are clean. Shit.
Wow. Oh, I thought these were yours. Whose are these? Oh, well, whatever.
Oh, hi. We're recording. Oops.
Hell yeah. I don't have anything to put on now. I'm putting my panties back on.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Welcome to another episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Depending on how you see it on the camera. He's over there right now. Hey, we're having fun. Well, we got into some panties. How can you not have fun when you're getting into panties?
Right, exactly.
I wanted to start out real quick and just say a few people have gotten back to us about what we're doing, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's it. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't like it and you're like, man, I fucking hate watching this. Or, I watched 30 seconds of it and I fucking hated it. That's all right. At least you gave us a chance. And that means, you got a little bit of love in your heart, and that's good. Yeah. That's good. So,
Thanks for those 30 seconds. And it's like I tell people, if you're going to tell people to watch this show, number one, why would you do, no, I'm just kidding. Number two, don't start at episode 1. I think I might have said this already. Start at the current episode because we know that we were figuring things out and maybe we're getting a little better. So please watch the last episode and go backwards. That's how you know we got a quality product.
I kind of like the first one better. I don't know.
What? Why would you watch this shit?
Exactly.
Do you have a drinking vessel with fluid?
Well, I got this fucking cool. I already showed you, but I'll show everyone else. This cool beer stein. It's a Miller High Life beer stein, and Miller High Life made a beer stein, I guess, for NASA, and it has like astronauts on it landing on the moon in 1969. That's what it says. And then it has the rocket,
I got a rocket.
The launch pad, and then it has them landing back on Earth, I guess. If you could see that, they're in like little rafts and stuff.
That looks like Earth or a swimming pool.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's it has the number 5 on it, and I think it's like the 5th anniversary of Miller High Life making merch for NASA, I guess, but I don't really know, but
or maybe that's a really fucking limited mug and that's the 5th one they made.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. That probably seems a little bit more, but it says one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind, so it's got the famous quote on it. So
that's pretty sick, actually.
And speaking of sick, where I found this is I was out walking my dog in Portland on the grossest street in Portland, Hawthorne, where all the hippies hang out. And I found it just sitting on the side of the road. So I was like, that thing probably had pee in it at one point in time. I'm going to take it home. So, it's still in its original condition. Never been washed.
That's fucking nasty. That's for all of you cats out there that are like, hey, what's a Portland all about? He just kind of summed it up, man. He's picking shit up off the street, the dirty street, and bringing it home, and he's using it. He's happy about it, and that's cool. I live near Philadelphia. There's nothing I've ever seen on the street that I would pick up, let alone bring home. Maybe hookers, but nothing, no physical, nothing, not a beer mug. So, the brave guy, he's still here. He's still alive. He's drinking from it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I got
crazy bastard.
I got the antidote in my gut to kill diseases, except for COVID. But I already got one beer in here, but it holds 2. So I'm on another one. Hey, Mikey, you go to the bathroom?
Hey, Adrian.
Mm,
And I am drinking the last beer in the fridge,
nice.
and it's called Stacy's Mom. And I didn't buy it, so I'm pretty sure I'm in
What?
trouble. I got to buy this again. I'm pretty sure someone wanted to try this out. They're not going to get to do that. Sorry.
I like that you drink the beer that's in your fridge, but it's never yours. Like you regularly buy beer, and if you do, it's only to drink on the show. But it's like you're like, oh, I found this fucking pumpkin coffee dick beer in my fridge, and now I got to drink it.
I think that's kind of the gag. I would like it if people just came over and brought shit beer and left it here. You know what I mean? Like that would be awesome. Be like, yeah, we're coming over. What do you want us to bring? Shitty beer. Oh, don't be like that. No, shitty beer. Like what's still left in your fridge? And don't tell me you put it in there. I don't want to know. It's more fun that way. Whatever.
Well, is the beer good? Does it taste good?
Let's find out together.
Yeah. So
That's not bad. It's just, what is this shit? Stacy's Mom Citra India Pale Ale, 7.5%. Whew.
So Stacy's mom doesn't have it going on. She does not.
I think she does have it going on in the percentage department. I mean,
but not in the overall quality.
I mean, it kind of tastes like Stacy's mom's been hanging out in some dirty bars, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna drink this shit. I'm gonna like it too.
Fucking A.
All right, so let's get into it. We talked about this week's homework assignment, if you will, was Bill Hicks, and the special that I found on Netflix was Sane Man. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Hell yeah.
What did you think, Mr. Rios?
Thought it was well, I've seen it before, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I watched that one, and it's that one has been my favorite out of all of his. He just has a darker demeanor. I mean, on that, I mean, he always does. That's Bill Hicks's thing, you know. He has that style about him, but yeah, that one I just feel like he was a little bit more darker and raw. And I liked it was an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Like that, that's long for a special. That's about 20 minutes to 30 minutes long.
Yep.
Not too long, but longer than the specials that people put out nowadays.
Right.
And I like that. I like that it was long, that he gave you something extra. And I like that he that there's, you know, every 10 or 15 minutes they put like an effect on it, like they would show him, and I think in a sidecar on a motorcycle, like
yeah, it looks like he's driving. Yeah, like he's been drove around the parking lot on a lawnmower or something. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out what it was, and I was like, wait, was he in a sidecar? You know, was he riding bitch? You know, to like, because that's what it looked like. It looked like he was in the sidecar of a motorcycle because he was able to smoke and look around. But like that, or he was on some kind of like Ferris wheel ride thing. I don't know. But anyway, I liked that about it. I liked that he would like loop himself and like do like crazy voice things, and I also liked that that the audience was right up on the stage.
Yeah. And
it was in the comedy club, and I know you like that, and it was like, I like that the front row, like he was basically standing on everyone's head.
Yep.
Like,
it could have been a strip club. It probably is a strip club.
Yeah. I've performed in those kind of places before, and I never really liked it, but I liked watching it on a special. I thought it was pretty rad.
Yeah, so what I know of the special itself is that it was his first one, and basically he got his family and friends together to record it. And the spot that they filmed it in was their spot. Like a couple of comedians came out of that spot. Bill Hicks was the main one.
Right.
It looks like he's riding on a convertible or something, but they use that footage a lot. I know his brother, who's still around, is a big loves what his brother was doing. He's the one who keeps Bill Hicks, his memory alive, and the Facebook page, his Instagram, that's all his brother.
Right.
And I do believe his brother helped him record that. So a little bit about Bill Hicks is that he's a psychedelic rocker dude. Like really, he's into Hendrix and all that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me in the special that they did the effects. Like not every day you see that. And the reason I was like that we put it on the show and had you guys watch it was for a lot of you guys, you haven't who's watching this, some of you guys haven't been to comedy shows, don't know what we've experienced in the past or people way before us. That's what it looked like. It used to be, they were discos. The clubs were discos, and then they turned into comedy clubs, and then no joke, they turned into strip clubs. Yeah. Or one way or the other. So that was a comedy club, but what many things I liked about it, what I wanted people to see that don't do comedy was, if you're paying attention, not everyone's laughing. At some points, there's people, like one woman gets up and goes to the bathroom. Like, Bill Hicks is funny, but even the people who were sitting there, maybe they were uncomfortable because there were 17 cameras pointed at him. Maybe because Bill Hicks was doing a lot of crazy shit on stage. But half of what he was doing up there was crowd work. Like he worked crowd work into his next bit. So it was almost like before he was really polished. Like it wasn't like Alex said. It was, it was a little rough, edgy.
It was edgy and raw for sure.
Raw is the word he used. It's raw and it's fun because if you're a comic, you can see everything he's doing there. And if you see his later specials, he polishes some of those jokes. And some of those he doesn't ever do again, which is pretty sweet. But he ties some of those bits in and makes them better. But it's really cool to see him do like an hour and a half. Lots, crowd work, trippy shit in there. And dude's kind of scary. Like when I got into comedy because someone gave me a DVD with Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison on it and said, go watch this. Someone burned me a disc. And I was like, oh, I can do comedy. Well, now I'm watching Bill Hicks at 40 years old. I'm like, that guy's fucking scaring people. Like, almost. Like, maybe I don't want to be like Bill Hicks.
Well, yeah, and plus, there was in a different, that special was recorded in 1989. That's what it says on Netflix. And and that was, you could get away with saying a lot of things, saying things that back then. So like, now our sensibilities are changed, because things are different. So you kind of evolve or whatever. And so, watching something like that back then, that wasn't, anything. That was fine. Like, I mean, he probably was scaring people and making people think, but the material and the words he was using, because there was some no words, like that was normal, right? But now you see that and you're like, oh, I can't do that now. So I could see why even you would be a little bit like, oh, Yeah,
because we're telling jokes now to people, and we do give a shit about what, at the end of the day, I care how people take what I say. I'm really not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. And Bill wasn't trying to either, but to your point, it was different back then. And obviously that's why I liked watching it. It's like watching a time capsule when comedy was really, really popping and comedy was big and everyone went to the comedy clubs, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what it looked like. And Bill Hicks was the top comic in that club. And if you walked into a club in the 80s or 90s and saw their top comic, it was something like that. But but his content, that's like the start for him. After that, he really, really took off and got very, very opinionated. And he became so, like, England loved him.
He was very popular.
Loved him for his shit. His specials are filmed there. This right here is a record that I got hooked up with Record Store Day last year. It's a concert. I read into it, long story short. It's a concert that he did in England. It's like one of the last ones he did. It's a full-blown special, and he pulled out all the stops and went into like an hour and 20 or something like that, kind of like he did here, except everything was polished more and that kind of thing. And my man has opinions, and that's kind of what I like, because that's what I want somebody, I like to laugh, but like Carlin says, when you make someone laugh, that's the opportunity to put in new ideas.
Right.
So,
exactly, yeah.
Anyone who understands that and uses that, I kind of, on purpose, I kind of say that's the artistry in it, if you will.
Making someone laugh is like opening a door, and then you get to go. You open that door in their mind, and then you get to, insert things here and there. See what you can do.
Absolutely.
But, I liked that special. I liked the title of it, Sane Man, and you watch it and you're like, nope. Nope. he's not. And how old was he in that special? He was like 25 or something, maybe 26?
Yeah, right in his mid-20s.
Because
young.
Because that was filmed in '89. He died in '94.
Right.
So,
what age did he die at? 29?
He was 32.
32. All right. So yeah, he was in his mid-20s when he did Sane Man, and that's what catapulted him. As I said, after that he did a couple of specials, and then he passed away. For those of you who don't know, Bill Hicks is definitely not with us anymore. But he did so much in a short amount of time that guys like me and so many comics, he's a comics comic because he said shit where he has jokes that you couldn't dare take, but God, you wish you had that joke. Like one of the ones that I like is he says in the special, a guy thought, if someone died jumping off a building because they thought they could fly. He's like,
right.
What an asshole. If you think you can fly, you take off from the ground first. It's obvious shit, but you're like, man, you wish I wish I had stuff like that. That once someone pulls the brilliance out of that, once someone grabs that, you're kind of like, well, that's that. There's nothing else to say. Like that, case closed. Nothing else to say. You can't beat that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of those. Like let me try to stick to the, what are some of the other ones? The boss one I like. I love that boss joke. He's like, comedy's good for me because I hate having a boss. He's like, the boss comes up to me and says, hey, Hicks, get to work. I'm like, well, there's nothing to do. The boss says, well, pretend you're working. I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't you pretend I'm working? That's right. You get paid more than I do. Why don't you fantasize? And I'm like, yes. I mean, anyone who watches that's had a fucking boss is like, yeah, of course. And that's why comics were like, oh my God, but this guy's pulling the easy, like it's so easy. You look right over it.
Right. It's right there that
right.
It's so easy to grab that you don't even think about it. Cause when you're a comic and you're trying to write jokes, you're like, thinking. And really sometimes you just got to take a step back and just go, there it is. It's right there on the ground. Just pick it up,
Right.
So, and he did a lot. Like one of my favorites was talking about how tired he is, And he's
like, my God, that's such a good joke.
I need 8 hours a day, and then 10 at night, and then I'm good.
I need my 8 hours a day. I do. I really do. And then 10 at night, and I'm good. It's just so subtle. It's so fucking. It's like as soon as someone does that, you're like, damn it, man, that's good. Fuck.
Right. And then on that. And that's what he opened with that joke, and he did like what comics normally do, but he did it such if you watch it closely, it's in a cut and dry way. The first 30 minutes aren't super offensive, and then the last 45 to an hour are pretty fucking heavy, fucking dark, talking about like I think Jimi Hendrix with like a saw blade dick, like cutting a girl in half with it or something like that.
Right. Or the bit that he had about being a shoe salesman. Yeah. It's like she's like, what do you think? And he's like, it looks really good from here. He's like, it's kind of tight. Like, I can loosen it up for you. And then it's subtle at the end. He's like, I lost that job. Fucking A. It reminded me of Al Bundy, like right away. For some reason, as soon as he said shoe salesman, because at the same time, Married with Children's out or coming out at that year, I'm thinking, fucking Ted Bundy right here. Tell me that someone didn't see this shit. Like, Ted Bundy, there you go. Al Bundy. Sorry, not Ted Bundy, Al Bundy. The sane guy who.
I knew what you meant, but I was just going with.
Yeah, Ted. I don't know what Ted. Ted's dead. That's it. So we're not talking about Ted. Al Bundy from Married with Children was a shoe salesman. So I thought about that shit. I'm like, damn, I wonder if Al ever tried to say something like that on Married with Children, because he had a bunch of shoe salesman jokes. In any case. Yeah.
And one thing that I liked that I realized about Bill Hicks in this special was he's like the callback king.
Dude.
He fucking like especially the last 20 minutes or so, it was just like callback, callback, callback. It was just like every fucking punchline that he put in, like the housekeeping one. Like,
yeah, he got pretty vulgar when he's talking about the cum. When he's like, I'm like, damn. Like these days, when you start to, people say the safe way to do comedy, which I know sounds, but in any case, say it without saying it.
Right.
He was, and I'm thinking as I'm watching this shit, because I'm used to watching modern comedy specials, I'm just like, he's not going to say it. He just kind of said it. He's not going to say it. And then he says it like, ropes of cum, triumphant ropes of cum. And I'm like, wow. Like, fuck it.
I think that's kind of the rule. It's either like say it without saying it or paint a fucking picture. It's either you tiptoe around it and get your point across and still able to say it, or you just fucking throw it out there, you know?
Right. And that's probably why he was big in Europe.
Right.
And not so much in America, because even in America, for those of you who don't know, especially I'll speak for England, their sense of humor is dark as fuck. It's fantastic. I love it. I really do. It's just so, I mean, you think we're sarcastic? Fuck off. They got it nailed. And so they loved Bill. They loved him. And they, big ass theater shows, looks like a rock star. He comes out here and he's doing somebody's comedy bunker in Arkansas, was for 6 people.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that fucked with his head, because it's like, how am I a rock star over there? And in America, they're not ready for this shit.
Right.
And I don't know what years we were ready for it, but we're not ready for it now.
Well, it's because he was so anti, and if you know, in America, mainstream America has a hard time with that, and still does, and probably always will, with anti people that are anti anything. And he was definitely anti establishment, anti, you know, kind of anti-America, even though he was kind of, you know, he's from Texas and, you know, had that whole thing. But also, you know, he had that flag burning bit.
I know it. Yeah. I love that joke.
Perfect. And, you know, like, you know, in a way, he probably has a tiny bit of respect for, you know, America, but also he doesn't want, he's talking about burning a flag, you know. So, you know.
Well, I like, as a veteran, the one bit he has about the flag, he's like, hey man, my daddy died for that flag.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I bought mine. It's like, my daddy fought in Asia for this flag. Like, what a coincidence. Mine's made in Asia. So
yeah.
If Bill Hicks may be anti, but I love this guy. I got into comedy because I saw what he was doing.
Right.
And I do say shit kind of like what he says on stage. And some people have to take a breath and a big swig of beer when I say things, but I don't, as a veteran and all that, I don't think he was anti. I think he just got tired of seeing this shit for the way it is, and he really was just fed up with the fucking nonsense. He's a young guy, and his filter, he was as sharp as a tack right out of the gate. He was looking around at the world, and he saw what it is, and he didn't like it. And so he wanted to talk about it. He wanted things to change. People who get pissed off about society want it to be better. So he's just making, I mean, I get the point he was making there and be like, fuck that. You're not dying for a flag. Wake up. Like, and I get that. Like, I would never say that. I didn't die for, if I fought for this country, I didn't fight for this country. I fought for me. I didn't join the military for this country. I joined for me. I don't bullshit you. I didn't. I did it because I was like, everyone says I can't be a fucking Marine. I'm going to go be one. That didn't have jack shit to do with America. It didn't. That's the truth. I'm sorry. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about patriotism. I was thinking about my next adrenaline rush at 18 years old. That's it. You know, I mean, and if someone said he died for that flag, like, no, Tony died for pussy because that's what he was into at that age. He went to fucking Thailand. If he has a penis left, he's probably not upset that he got killed in combat because he probably fucked his dick off. So I love the truth. And my man's telling the truth directly. And I always felt that Americans don't like the truth directly. As another comic quoted him saying, most comics give you a spoonful of sugar with the truth. But there wasn't a spoonful of sugar with Bill.
Yeah.
So I understand why people would be like, ugh. But it's like, he's not just up there trying to make you laugh. He's not Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. He's not. He's like, nah, fuck that. He's like, let's talk. And not everybody is into that.
Right.
Even more so to people.
Yeah, definitely not today. And we're in a tough situation. Our country is. So it's hard.
But he had some killer jokes that even if he just went up there and just told his jokes without all the crazy shit, still puts together a fucking hell of an hour. He has stuff about what else did he? I'm looking at my little I've actually kind of covered. The only other thing that I saw that was funny to me, because comedians often get heckled. I love the way he handled the heckles. Like, he got heckles here and there, but I like his attitude when someone says, like, he's talking about a bit and someone's like, he's like, hey, he's like, I said that I would do the bit if you wanted to stay and hear it. It's like, but I'm not a jukebox. You're not going to be shoving quarters up my ass and telling me what to play. I always love that as a rebuttal for being heckled, you know, like, I'm not a jukebox. I'm not up here taking requests. Just clever little shit like that. I don't know if that was his first time saying it or not, but it was pretty damn funny.
If it was, he definitely said it again after that because it's pretty clever.
Yeah, exactly. So
a little off topic. It's Bill Hicks still, but off topic of that special. You know what clip I'm talking about? Where a heckler, a lady, like, heckles him, and he's in some comedy club, in Chicago, and so she says something. I don't remember what she said, but he just goes fucking off on her, just like has her escorted out, just is like screaming, you know, at her and like, take her somewhere good, get her out of here, take her to a Madonna show, take her somewhere good. Get the fuck out of here. Like, and, you know, that wasn't clever at all. That was just pure fuck you. I loved it. It was great.
So for those of you who are watching this, take a note. Look up Bill Hicks handles a heckler. The extended version's bitching, but even if you get the 2 or 3 minute version, that's enough. Right. What happens is, long story short, as Alex said, he's in Chicago at a comedy club, and some chick simply says, "You suck." Yeah. And he's like, for a second, you know, you could tell he kind of lets it go, but I think she says it twice. Anyway, he fucking goes in, and he sets the precedent on how to handle a fucking heckler after that. Because I've never seen any recorded footage of anyone getting handled like that. But this, and personally, you get shut your mouth if you're not part of the show. So basically, she said, "You suck," and he's like, "I'm sorry, folks, that's my mother." And they laughed, and he's like, "You know what? You suck. Get the fuck out of here. Take her to somewhere good. Go see fucking Madonna, you idiot piece of shit. I want you to find a fucking soul." And that's when, like, it's not comedy anymore. Like, Bill is like, that's the fire, man. And as you get older, the shit kind of goes away because you accept the fact that it's not okay. But every comic out there who's been heckled, who's seen that, is like, fucking A. Just, I wish I could. Because he did. He did it. He did what everybody wanted to do. He unloaded on that chick for minutes on minutes. If you find the extended version, he keeps coming back. She doesn't get taken out. And then someone else says something, and he's just like, fuck. I mean, the whole show ended up being, it was like he said it was like one of the worst shows he ever did or something, but it was just one constant fucking heckle fest for him. And he was not playing. I mean, that guy went in on people. So in a way, like, a lot of comics love him. Like, he's the comics comic. Yeah. He showed us how fucking hard you can go on people. Not now, not even close now, but there ain't a comic out there that wasn't like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Well, I mean, like, you kind of can't, but you kind of, if they deserve it, people will give it to you. Like, you know, I've definitely had some, you know, some things where I went off on people before, you know, on stage, and the times that I did, I think the rest of the crowd kind of was like, "Oh, right," you know, and they left, and it was all good. But yeah, you do have to be a little bit more on your tiptoes nowadays.
Well, Bill Hicks followed the rule. He followed the rule. She fucked up first. He didn't start. He didn't start on her first. She said you suck, and the audience acknowledged it. They said, "Ooh." So they knew that she just threw down on him. And for any of you guys who've been to a comedy show, as soon as someone talks to you, everyone in the room secretly wants to see what you're going to say back.
Right.
So that was, and they didn't turn on him from what I saw. They never turned on him. They were on his side the whole fucking time. The whole time he ripped on that chick, and he said some hard shit.
He did.
And so he followed the rules, and he didn't lose the room per se because he did that. So if ever somebody fucks with a comic on stage, the comic's just waiting for everyone to be on their side and for that asshole to start taking over the show. When it becomes at the point where you have to deal with it and the audience knows, is this gonna do it or not? Then it's your time, because this is unscripted material. If you're like me, you don't have a fucking plan. You just rip into them. Sometimes I'll tell the audience, I'll put my thumb out, be like, and if they're like, cool, here we go. And here we go, motherfucker. And I'll just start in on them. I'll talk about their outfit, talk about their shoes, tie in my own. Yeah, he's like,
just give him the gladiator thing. The gladiator. Like,
yes.
Like Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator.
But it works because the audience is like, ooh, shut up, Myrtle. He's going to do it. Here we go. Like, all right, fucking A. Give me some shots.
Myrtle, are you performing in the 30s? What the
There's a Myrtle out there, and I'm going to perform for her and her man. And I want that. And when I do, would you guys please introduce yourselves? Hey, this is Myrtle. I brought her because you told me to. And I'm Steve. Like, awesome.
Myrtle, are you performing at her funeral? Like, is she like 100 years old?
Only by request. There are fucking Myrtles out there. They named a beach after one. There has to still be a Myrtle. Myrtle, if you're out there, find us and prove my point, please. I'll give you some of Stacy's mom. The bottle or otherwise.
And they might be around, but they were all born in the 30s, and they're all almost dead now.
No. Fuck that. There's people out there that, Alex, there are people out there that hate their children. Someone's named fucking Myrtle right now. I'm telling you. Or maybe it's Myrtle. I don't know, but there's a Myrtle. Myrtle. Some people twist it, you know.
That's great.
Yeah, so Bill Hicks scares people. He's the reason I got into comedy. That was a fun special. That's the kind of shit that I like to laugh at. I'll say that.
Right.
My act doesn't sound quite like that because you can't talk. No, sorry, doesn't work. But he got away with it, and I wanted everyone to know that he was out there. Dude, man. If you really like his shit, look him up. He had some of the bits that showed in this special. He had built on them, tied them in. One special is called Revelations. I don't remember them all, but the next one he used some of those bits again and developed them. And long story. There's another joke. One of my favorite Bill Hicks jokes, and I quote this all the time because I hate the fucking beach. I hate that everyone around here talks about going to the beach. Or if it's in New Jersey, it's the shore. You going to the shore? Yeah, sure. Let's go to the fucking shore. I hate that. And then if it's Delaware, which is the next state down on the coastal fucking plain, it's the beach. So you got Jersey, it's the shore. And then it's the beach. Like Bill Hicks said, it's where dirt meets water. Is it that fucking amazing to you people? Thank you. Like I feel that anger. And here's another thing, since Tony's going on a tangent. Everyone around here has a sticker on their car that loves the beach, loves the shower. Says Salt Life on it. Salt Life in cute little cursive, beach, wavy, fucky fuck. No. Because I don't know what you're talking about. I just got here from Oregon. What do you mean Salt Life? Look at all you guys. A lot of people here aren't living healthy diets, and now you're talking about how much sodium you like in your diet? You like sodium so much that you put a Salt Life sticker on the back of your car? How the fuck am I supposed to know you like the beach or the shore? I think you're just a big fan of sodium. I think you're going to die. I'm like, that's a stupid thing. You go to the beach because you like salt water? Salt Life. Saltwater life. Let me get this straight. Let me tell you a secret about salt water. It dries my fucking skin out. It makes me feel like I have ants and like sandpaper in my pocket. I don't like it. So what part of that shit are you guys into? Long story short, like Bill Hicks then said, I have a bathtub and an imagination, and I'm staying indoors this summer, listening to music that I like. So I still secretly love that shit, and secretly despise all the trendy, I like the show, or the, oh, shut up. When everyone says the same thing, it just sounds redundant and boring. And that's the shit that drives comics crazy, especially the crazy ones like me and Bill and other people. So that shit like pisses us off. Like, we can't help it. It's just stupid. It's like, you're going to bother to put a fucking sticker on your car to tell people you go to the beach? You have chairs, bikes, 17 kids, the shit wagon. We know you're going to the beach. You don't have to get a fucking sticker. So
I think you need to go to the beach and relax.
I don't like the fucking beach. we went to a beach and it didn't say what it was. We were like, I'll go to a beach where no one else is because I don't like people that much. And we go there and it's a bunch of horseshoe crabs. You can't do shit with these things. You can't get in the water. They're dumb. They're gonna bite me. They don't know I'm a nice guy, obviously. So it's like, just, I don't get it. I don't get it. You're a beach person. If you're living in the middle of the country and you're like, oh, I'd love to move out of Wisconsin and go to the beach. No, you ain't missing shit. Most people step on needles. It's dirty. There's shark attacks. A lot of shark attacks this year. I just don't understand the celebration for the beach. And when you get there, you're with all the assholes that like the beach just like you. And then you cuss at each other because you're in the Northeast. So you're going to be upset at the beach. If you're already going to be mad, why go to the fucking beach? Just stay at home, save money on the sticker and the fuel, and do something else. Like roller skating.
So, Tony, have you ever heard the expression, fuel for the fire? Fueling someone's fire? That's what Bill Hicks was for you.
I know. But now I can't do comedy. Now I'm not allowed out.
The fire.
I know, but I'm not allowed out. You're right. Listen, folks. People are like, hey, Tony, I never saw you perform. What were you like on stage? This is it. Scary as fuck. Like just yelling, and then the hair, and then I start sweating, and
I think that was like a solid 3.5 minutes, maybe almost 4. Pretty good job. Anyway, I want to tell you guys about what I did at the beach yesterday.
If you went to the fucking beach, I'm over it. I'm taking a break.
I did go to the beach. I really did. 100%.
But wait a minute. Where you live, is it not called the coast?
No, there is the Oregon coast, but I didn't go. I went to the Oregon coast probably like 3 or like a month ago, but I went to Rooster Rock, and it's on the river. But yeah, that is the beach here. It's not salt water, but it's the beach.
Fair enough.
It is a beach, and there, I just love that was your tangent. That was, you hate the beach so much, and then on my notes, I literally wrote the beach. The beach.
It always ties in, folks. It always ties in. Alex.
Yeah, we went to the beach yesterday. We went to Rooster Rock. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just on the river, but it's a big fucking river. It's really deep. There's no rocks. There's sand everywhere, so it's not salt water, but it's the fucking beach. And yeah, it was great. Except, I don't know if you've heard about this, and there's Tony, but Oregon, especially Portland in this area, has like is in like high alert for a windstorm.
For fire. For
and
wind and fire, right?
Well, yeah, there's fires every year all over the place in Oregon. And
old news.
Typical stuff. You know, like Tony doesn't like the beach. I don't like fires. What's with all these people with fire stickers, huh? Leave the forest alone. I hate the people in Troutdale call it fires. Here in Portland, we just call it fires. I hate fires.
Oh, fucking A, man. That's right. I get upset, damn it. What do you want?
Oh, it's good fun. But all of Portland is on high alert for windstorms, and they're like, they said on the news, like, the power companies might turn off your power, just like a preemptive thing, because the wind was pretty fucking strong, and the sky was like a brownish, like a purplish brownish color because of all the smoke and the big fire. And it smelled like, so we were on the beach yesterday, and we knew that the windstorm. They said the windstorm was going to start around 5-ish, and around 3:34, the wind started picking up, and so we started taking the canopy down. We have a little tent thing, and we took that down. We're still hanging out. And then like 10 minutes later, it really starts fucking picking up, and it's blowing sand everywhere. But, excuse me, we knew it was going to happen. Like, we were prepared. We were like, we could stand a little wind. But there was like a family not too far away from us, probably like 50 feet away from us, that brought 2 barbecues, 2 tables, filled with like like hot dog buns, all the works, everything. They had like 6 or 7 kids, and so they obviously didn't know that there was going to be a windstorm, because when that thing started to blow, it blew their barbecues over. The wind picked the table up in the air. There's buns everywhere. It was a beautiful fucking sight. Great.
Flying food. Alex finally found his fantasy.
Yeah, there it is. Fucking
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. But yeah, man, it was pretty cool. And if you've never been to Rooster Rock, it's a big, long beach. Have you been there, Tony? Have you heard about it?
I've only heard of it, yeah.
Okay, so there's a part that's like the family side, and that's where we were. And then if you go probably like a mile down, half a mile down, there's the nude part. And it's clothing optional, but it's kind of where, like, if you kind of, if you're on the beach and you're on the nude part, you'll see, you'll see dicks, dogs, tits, everything. Dongs and dogs, that's what I call it. Dongs and dogs, baby. And then you see it all, everybody. Fat old guys, beautiful old guys, fat young guys, everybody, they're all there. And you go into the bushes a little bit, sometimes you'll see some old men fucking each other, and it's beautiful. There's 2.
What? What do you mean it's beautiful? You had time to decide if it was pretty or not?
Well, you see love at first sight, Tony. Love at first sight. You just see beauty. It just takes a couple seconds. You know what I mean?
So a little cushion pushing, that gets you going, huh? So is that why they call it? Is that like Rooster Rock? Like, is that just kind of code for like Cock Beach?
Yeah.
Like, because it sounds like there's a lot of penises.
Well, there's 2 nude beaches around here, and one's Sauvie Island and one's Rooster Rock, and they're both kind of known for their kind of hookup beaches, kind of a little bit. There might be locals that there might be one local that watches this and be like, no, it's not. Like, it kind of is. I've stepped over a lot of condoms and cock rings, and I've seen guys fucking in the forest. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying I've seen it with my eyes.
All right, hang on. All right, so we're pretty much talking about dudes fucking dudes here, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's not a problem. All right, so I realize that a lot of men actually go to the beach or go to places or hookup spots to do their thing, but I had this image in my head. A lot of these men are in relationships with women. Not a problem. I'm just thinking to myself, the explanation of, I thought you went to Lowe's today, David. Why are you covered in sand? I mean, imagine having to explain that or be like, why is there still a condom on your penis and you're missing pants? I thought you went to 7-Eleven. Like, it's just weird. Like, someone must be getting in trouble with the wife or the missus when they get home. Not everyone's allowed to be, because if you were, you would just be over at your man's house and just pudding pushing as much as you could. But if you're meeting out in the woods, either you've known each other for a long time, you're like, we got to spice it up. All right. Your dick ain't doing it for me anymore. You're going to have to pound me at Rooster Rock, or I'm not going to get it. So or you're like on Reddit or wherever your thing is, looking for a Joe Bud, which I found out means jerk off buddy. I had to look that up. No one offered, but in any case, you're looking for a Joe Bud, and you're like, hey, cock on the rock. See you there at noon. Just a big dick party. I mean, that's cool. So at the family beach, is that where like normal couples fuck? Or
No, that's just where families are.
well, I mean, you can make a family beach if you're making a family. I mean, if you're so no one's just having the heterosexual sex, like just two, like a man and a woman. No one's doing that anywhere.
No, I think that's if that happens in the nude beach area too.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It's not like gay exclusive beach. It's you know what it is. It's guys are usually a little bit more hornier, and they'll just fuck outside a lot easier. That's all it is.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to use your backyard when there's a public beach, you know.
It's not a gay exclusive beach, but it's pretty gay.
That's fine. What's the address? Just kidding. All right.
All right. Since I brought up nude beaches, I have a couple things to say about them. All right.
He's got a list.
Well, I started thinking, I'm like, there's that, and there's that. There was a time I was at the other nude beach I mentioned, Savi Island. And that's a little bit more, it's a smaller, more like less sand in between the cars, like the parking lot and the water. Like it's a more narrow beach, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit more packed usually. And I haven't been there in a couple of years. But one of the times I was there, you ever see something far away and you're like, it can't get any more bigger. And then it gets closer and you're like, Jesus Christ. So I was at Savi Island and I saw this man and this woman, old. They probably had to, like they were old. Like they're probably dead now. That's how old they were. Fucking old. Especially the guy. He was like, he had that fucking lowercase C walk, you know what I mean? That fucking bent over, looked like that. And they saw this old couple walking. They're probably late 70s, 80s, something like that. They're walking, and the guy just kind of normal, and they're holding hands, walking. It's a nice day. The water crisp and beautiful, gorgeous day. They're walking. He looks normal, just kind of like walking naked with my wife. It's cool. And you look at her, and she's smiling ear to ear, just fucking happy as can be. And then they get closer, and you look down, and you realize why she's happy and smiling. Because he's got a dick the size of fucking Montana. It's fucking swinging past his knee. I swear to God, like, soft, it was like 10, 11 inches. It was fucking... He was a tiny, tiny old man, and that thing was fucking huge. And it was so big that I remember it. I'll tell you that.
I don't know what to say to that, but right on, man.
Here's the thing,
big old dick walking down the beach. You really think that's why she was smiling? I mean, she probably known him for a while. I mean, it's probably not
Tony, help me out with this joke.
All right. Yeah. All right. I don't know. We're not going to talk about dicks again because this is going to get too. I mean, I'm not going to feed into the dicks this time, like I usually do.
Fine, Tony. All right, like myself, I'm not really in the cars. I'm not a car guy. But if I see a car that's nice, that's a nice fucking car. I'm not into dicks, but if I see a huge, beautiful, swinging dick, I'll be like, nice fucking dick, you know? Because I want to have a nice dick, and I'm like, way to go, man. Fucking fist bump. Good job. Like, just because I say someone has a nice dick doesn't mean I want to throw it over my shoulder or fucking, like, put it in my mouth. And just like, nice dick. Like, it's out there swinging. He wants compliments. Might as well give it to him. Fuck it.
I guess that's so he wasn't fucking. He was fishing for compliments. That's what he was. He went. I was like, I got to take my dick for a walk.
Hey, man, I don't know what it was. I just know that big, swinging, beautiful dick, man.
I haven't ever seen a nice dick. I mean, not on me or anybody. I mean, I don't look at them that often because I don't really give a shit. But when I have seen them, I'm just like, okay. I mean, a lot of women say that shit, but they don't always tell the truth. But me, I've never seen one. I don't want to see one. Don't send me any fucking pictures. But if I am walking one day and I do see a dick, I'm going to let them know. I am. I'm like, hey, nice dick, dude. And I'll probably be very wrong, and I'll get a black eye or two. But whatever. I think you're right. I think if you see a nice appendage, you should say something.
Well, I mean, if they're showing it like that, you should definitely not catcall people. Don't fucking do that.
All right, I'll stop.
Yeah, but if you're on a nude beach and you see a couple smiling ear to ear, and there's a guy swinging hog, I'd give him the thumbs up. You're like, way to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if he saw my fucking shriveled average dick, I would expect him to just be like, well, pat me on the back, be like, well, you probably have a nice personality. You know? Man, we're all human. It's okay to be like, great dick, good personality, fucking cheers. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like if you have a small dick and you and your lady are out in public, like at a hot spring or something like that, and someone bothers to, say something, they don't say, if you have a small dick and you're with your woman, they don't say much to you. They tell your woman, you must be a real sweetheart. Ain't a motherfucking broad out there that isn't like first time pulling the pants down, like, please don't be. Well, he's funny. He's funny. You just start reasoning with yourself. It's just like a guy when he pulls down pants and he's like, holy shit. Anybody else coming out of there? God damn. You don't know. And you're like, you know what? You do what you got to do, baby. You do. You get into it like a day job. You put in your 8 hours of licking and you get the fuck out of there. So it is cool when you see a Dirk Diggler walking around 70 years old, bent over like the letter C with a nice big package. Apparently he got old and his dick didn't. That's pretty cool. Right. Maybe instead of when you die, they should pick, instead of your face where they put the makeup and all that weird shit, they should pick the best part of you at that moment, and that's what people show. Like, who's this? Well, clearly it's Daryl. Look at his dick. Like, Jesus Christ. Clearly, yeah. Like the last day on his deathbed, everyone finally got to see what the big deal was all about. That's all. I think that's nice. I mean, speaking of which, unless you had something else to add, I don't want to cut it off. Pun intended. No pun intended.
Go for
it. I definitely did some hot springs when I was in Oregon. So you're talking about nude beaches, and I'm thinking of my hot spring stories. The first time one of the first times I went to one, I took my daughter when she was an infant. Long story short, she saw me naked before she knew who I was. Because when I'm at a hot spring, everyone else is naked, I'm getting naked too. Even if everyone else isn't naked, I'll probably get naked. Just because if the one other person is naked, I might do it. Long story short. But that's not what this story's about. This story's about how a peaceful hot spring with hippies isn't that peaceful. Let me tell you why. I went to a hot spring one time, and I took a bunch of weed with me because that's what you're supposed to do. And the hot springs are awesome. They were called Cougar Hot Springs. I'm not going to tell you where they are. But anyway, they're out there, and they're awesome. So the top pool is where everyone hangs out, and then the cooler pools they get, yada, bullshit. Nice view, cool place to hang out. I go down with my lady, smoking some dope. And I don't know any of these people, but when I get high, I get paranoid. We're about 1.5 miles from the front gate, and it's known at this particular hot spring that the cops come by because people do dumb shit. A few years later after that, someone did have a fatal accident going to the hot spring on drugs. It's a shitty spot. It's valid. Now there's a security camera there in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a security camera there, so they just monitor the shit all the time. You are not allowed out there at night. At least you weren't, and that's why they did it.
Right.
But I was sitting in there in the daytime one day, and they're all passing pipes around, and we're talking, and I showed them my bag of weed, which is something you probably shouldn't do. So we're sitting there, and they're talking about, like, yeah, man, the cops come up there quite a bit, like, and they'll pat you down when you get out there. I'm like, I'm pretty new to this. So I'm like, fuck, really? I'm from the East Coast. I'm naive as shit. I haven't stopped giving a shit yet at this point, like a year into Oregon. So I'm still really naive and green. And they're just like, yeah, man, they'll find you. They'll take your shit. They'll find you. They'll take you, And I'm smoking. They keep passing the bowls around. There's more bowls than there are fucking people. Who brought 2 bowls? Someone brought an extra. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So at one point, I have 2 pipes in my hand. I can't even light it. I'm so high, I'm trying to light one pipe with the other pipe. I'm like, fuck. So they're like, this guy's done. Let's go in on him. So they're sitting there and they're like, hey, man, you know, you should be careful. When you go out in that parking lot, they'll take all your shit. And what do I say? Out loud, I say, oh, I guess I better just smoke all this right here then. And they're like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And wouldn't you fucking know it? That's exactly what happened. I sat there and then it was insane. But dude, I was so high that those same people had to convince me, they had to tell me after the fact that they were fucking with me. Because I was like, nah, man, you told me the fucking feds are in the parking lot. You said they do stings here all the time. And you said that since I'm high, they're going to get me. Why would I leave? I'm just going to stay here. You guys are right. I shouldn't leave. And they're like, no, dude. Like, we were kidding. We just wanted we wanted to smoke all your dope with you. And that's what we did. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, are you the FBI? How do I know I didn't just smoke pot with you guys? And they were just like, holy shit, we got this kid too high. And finally, some chick named Starshine comes out of the waterfall or some shit, and she's just like, hey man, hey, you just need to relax, brother. I'm gonna walk you to your car. And no shit, this chick held my hand and walked me 1.5 miles. I made every hippie in that hot tub walk with me to my car. I convinced them. I was like, you're right, the feds are out there, so when we get there, we're all gonna scatter. And I'll go to my car and I'll make it safe. And then some of you are going to get arrested. Like, this is the kind of shit I was saying, half joking, half serious. We all, like 15 of us, walked into the parking lot. It was really weird. And there was a cop, like a forest cop out there. And all he said was, no shit. He said, hey, what's going on, Dave? What happened? Did you convince this kid to smoke all his pot again? And I'm like,
Really?
get the fuck out of here. No shit. I was like, huh? And I was like, these fuckers got me. They got me real good. I thought they couldn't get me any better than this. That's not true. 2 days later, I got the fucking sickest you could ever get. Because if anybody knows anything, you don't go sharing your damn 17 pipes with a bunch of dirty fucking hippies in a hot spring that doesn't get cleaned very often. So I got COVID 27,000. Because that shit was rough. I'm serious. And I just fucking laughed. And then I cried because I didn't have any fucking weed left. But in any case, they were naked. I was naked too. But that wasn't the point of the story. Hippies are fucking
They definitely took you for a ride. For sure.
It was fun. I had a fun ride.
But that's Tony G to the T. It's Tony G to the G. Getting too high and having a panic attack.
To the capital G, man. Tony to the capital G. Help! Help! I need help!
Help! Like, wait. Got you too stoned and like, wait. The feds are out there, man? Why would the feds be out in the fucking middle of Oregon on a fucking mountain watching a bunch of hippies that are naked that are gonna smoke pot? Like, they're naked hippies.
There wasn't one person, including the lady that came with me, that said that. That said what you just, no one spoke logic.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, yeah, well, because once you lie to me and get all my weed, you have to go along until you're like, okay, I got to stop this. He's killing the buzz that I stole from him. He's bumming me out. But he was right. I mean, the guy is a federal officer. He's just a federal fucking wildlife marshal. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
And that dude actually lives like the town down the street. And it's they all went to his house and partied, and I wasn't invited. Probably that's what happened. But yes, I am a gullible. That's what the G. Sometimes the G stands for goofy. Sometimes it's my last name. And most of the time it stands for gullible. Because if you tell me some shit and I don't know otherwise, I'm going to believe you. And if I'm high, I'm going to get fucking freaked out. And then I'll be like, don't you leave me. I don't know you, but you told me some shit and now you're responsible for me. And they'll be like, huh? Like, yep, that's right. Give me your hippie skirt because that's what's going to make me feel safe. I need to switch clothes with you. Come on. I'll come out wearing some guy's vest and shit, you know? Hot springs are fun. Did you ever have a fun hot spring experience?
I mean, I've been to hot springs a bunch of times, but unfortunately I've been too fucking high at the hot springs to really have a fucking story. Because you know me, when I get high, I'm just like, all the moments just fucking pass me by. So I'm just like, I'm too high to have a story to come out, you know? Yeah, so.
Well, I'm such
unless it's like hallucinogens, and then I remember the story. But if I get too fucking stoned, man, it's just, you know.
Dude, I don't know. I don't think you were there, but at another hot spring, a hippie came up to me, and he at Umpqua Hot Springs, and he said, "Hey, man, I see you got some smoke on you." And I'm an idiot. I just carry my pot around like, "Hi, you want to be friends?" And people are like, "No, yeah, just give me your weed." So in any case, I made it obvious that I had pot somehow, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, man, I could really use a nug, dude. Like, can you help me out?" And I'm like, "Sure." I was like, you know, it's $20. It ain't free. And he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't have any money, man." I'm like, "Oh, that's right. You're a hippie. My bad. I'm sorry, man." But he had all this shit in his hair. And I don't mean just like pine needles and trash and beer cans. I mean, that was in there too. But he had things on purpose. Like he had hair trinkets.
Yeah.
And so I've never done this before, and I'll say yes to new shit, unless it's anal. But in any case, he says to me, he's like, "Oh, make a trade, bro." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like, he's like, "How about you want a hair trinket?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, maybe. Is that what people do here? Like, you give me shit out of your hair and I get you high and you forget you put shit in your hair?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Well, what's a fair trade?" So I was like digging through my bag. I'm like digging through my bag, and I'm like, and looking at his hair trinket, and I'm digging through my bag, and I'm like, "I have a nugget that's the size of that Volkswagen hair trinket. Will you make a trade on that?" And he's like, "Totally, man." And I grabbed the nug, and I'm like, put it up to his hair, and I'm like, "I think this is a fair trade." And he's like, "Dude." I'm just like, "Yeah." And then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, I have less weed in my pockets, obviously. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing with a hair trinket? And the best part is I still have that fucking thing, man. And some of his hair, because I didn't clean it or anything. I mean, so I could probably eat that and end up on acid if I wanted to eat his hair and get high. But
right. Yeah,
weird shit happens at hot springs. It's just, and that's why I like when tourists go.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, because you get to see them react to all the fucking weird hippies. Weird, naked, stinky hippies. Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll be sitting there and some hippies like just like cleaning crystals. What? Like, "Yeah, man, I went up on Thunder Mountain, dude. Some lightning struck and I just scored a bunch of crystals, bro."
Dude, that's fucking
like, cool.
Dude, that's Oregon, man. People with fucking crystals, man. All right. So, also, by the way, sorry about the fucking sun. It's terrible. I know.
I thought it was God looking down on you. It was right in your eye. You were the apple of his eye at one point, dude.
Oh, really? Because it was when we first started recording, it was fine, and then the sun's starting to set. And now it's coming through the windows, and we're already recording. And I don't want to fucking get up and do that. But so,
the power of light. Don't let the sun go down on me.
We're comedians on a recording a Zoom call. We're not professional. Get over it.
Yeah, man, it seems really raw. Yeah, like if I don't pay my rent, I'll be recording this shit at a bus stop. Yeah, it's pretty raw. Yep.
Yeah, speaking of crystals, the people I live with, my girlfriend and her sister, love crystals.
Same.
Fucking love crystals. They love crystals. Gets like and I'm not talking shit because I have a bunch of fucking toys. I'm a nerd. I get toys in the mail all the time. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying she gets a package every day. Maybe it's 2 packages a package, and they're crystals or plants. And I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying She gets rocks in the mail. Rocks in the mail.
If she comes in and slaps you right now, I'd be into it. I'd be totally into it. You just get hit in the head with a rock.
Basically, the house has just crystals and plants all over the place. It's really nice. It looks cool. But this is, so not my girlfriend and her sister, but I've noticed girls in their 20s in Portland can't stop putting crystals and sticks with moss on them in their car. Have you ever noticed that? There's fucking people around here, you get in their car and then on their dashboard is the outside. They bring the outside on the inside. Like, they're like, oh, I got to clean my car today. I got to vacuum out the dirt. Then why are there fucking branches and rocks on the dashboard? I thought you cleaned it. I thought you cleaned the car. You want to take the dirt from the inside of the car, put it back on the outside, and then take the good stuff and bring it back on the inside. You take the outside, put it in the inside. Blows my fucking mind.
So they're ordering these crystals, which means that you're paying extra on the shipping because they charge by weight. So what are we doing with these crystals over there, Alex? Are we making necklaces?
The same thing I'm doing with my toys. They put them up.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, see, around and my lady, she's into rocks, gems, crystals, all that. She puts them in wire, turns them into necklaces. It's her thing. We just went to one of those amusement parks where you can buy the bag of dirt and you sift through the shit and you're guaranteed to get stuff. You basically just paid for a box or a bag of rocks. I like doing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like seeing the rocks. Neat, cool, awesome. I got nothing to do with them. I was like, hey, you can make me a keychain. So I'm just wondering what they do with them over there. And what is it? Is it a, what's the point? What, I mean, seriously, I'm not making fun of them. Is it like an energy thing, or you just like to see the sun bounce off your face, or? Oh no. He's closing the blinds and grabbing some crystals.
No, man, I'm not gonna make the lighting better. Fuck,
That's for our lighting guy that we don't have.
Yeah. So this is what I mean by crystals and rocks.
Oh shit.
They're big fucking, you know.
But they're already done. Like they're just cool. So wait, they're looking at them online and like, oh, that's cool. I need that rock, and I want, just like you got your Predator doll.
Yeah, it's hey, toys, Tony. Not fucking dolls.
I'm fucking old now. I call it dolls.
These are toys.
I'm sorry.
I'm a grown man. I have toys. I don't have dolls.
That's it. And that's it. That's the end of our show. This series is over. Tony fucked up. Everything went good till he fucking called it a doll.
So no, I'm not talking shit about them having rocks and stuff. I think it's makes the house look really cool. Because if it was just me, it'd be fucking posters of the Deftones and Guar and shit, and like things would be a mess, and most of the walls would be blank and shit like that. So it's cool that there's some decorative rocks. I actually like it.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I miss our old apartment.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
I had a lazy boy. You had a fucking office chair. Like that was it. We didn't invite anyone over for a reason. Nothing fucking there. Yeah, it's good to have ladies around. The problem is, and not that around here, domestic violence, people throw shit at each other. Women especially like to throw shit at men because they deserve it. So you have rocks. That's sketchy. I mean, you could actually get hurt by a nice shiny rock. Like, that sucks.
Well, no, they don't want to mess that rock up. That's too nice.
You get them pissed off, they're going to pick their least favorite boulder and throw it at your dome, dude.
Oh, man, they don't want to get blood on that. They'd rather fuck my face up than get that rock dirty.
Damn. And you said they, like both of them will fuck you up. You're only dating one, but there's 3 ladies in your house.
Dude, I'm telling you. I told their mom today. I was like, I'm terrified of them. They live in the walls.
Still the people under the stairs.
they're probably standing right outside the door waiting for me to open it. Like, they're probably like, we can fucking hear you, motherfucker.
You go yelling rocks through the fucking house. You're gonna cause alarm.
Yeah.
I wanted to where you at? I got something.
Yeah. Do it.
I had a fucking wild weekend where weird shit just happened almost every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, on Friday night, right after work. All right, it's COVID season, people. There isn't anything going on. I'm gonna preface it like this. So I go down to the public playground. The school has a new playground, new swing set, brand new shit, a flat swing, something the Americans finally figured out. You know, we all got fat asses. Those rubber swings just tear it up. So a nice flat swing. So I'm at the swing set with my lady. The sun's going down. It's nice out. There's a group of asshole kids over here, just like I was and everybody else was. Homegirl got her ass stuck in the baby swing. Yeah, everyone's heard about it. It happens once in a while. But I kind of think that it's the girl that it happens to is usually, I think she gets a lesson out of it. I think that that girl ends up advancing in life later because she got so fucking embarrassed. Let me explain. I'm on the swings. She gets stuck, and there's kids playing and whatnot. You know, anyway, and she's like 15 of her dumbass friends are all there. And I know how this is going. Most of these idiots aren't loyal. They don't care about her. So I didn't know she was stuck. I saw her get in there. I didn't know she was stuck. And then they started pulling on the girl, and she's just so fucking obnoxious. Fuck, 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 fuck. I'm just like, oh my God. And then finally, this is like for 45 minutes, like, fucky, 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 ow, 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 oh my God, just fuck up. Like, you're ruining my swing night. This is my night. This is my swings. I don't care if you're stuck. I don't care if you got your frickin' tongue stuck to a pole in December and that's what's going on. Shh. She couldn't do that. So I'm sitting there and I'm not sober. And so I run my mouth. There's a lady over here with her son and he's purposefully falling off the swings because he likes to fall. So I was distracted because I'm like, that's really fucking interesting. And she's like, yeah, don't worry about him. He likes head injuries. He's a big fan. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch that. But over here, this chick is stuck and it's going on. It's going on. It's honestly an hour. I'm sitting here for an hour, not offering any assistance. There's other parents not offering any assistance, all secretly listening without paying attention. I'm listening. I'm commenting. I'm actually saying, the one girl, she's like, I'll be right back. And then her dad's there and she leaves because she knew there was a problem. She smelled danger and left. Smart kid. She's probably going to be the head of her class. So now there's 14 left. So now they're sitting there and they're still trying to pull on her and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't gonna, no one got water. No one got fucking anal ease. No kind of lubricant. No one thought, lube this chick's legs up, flip her upside down, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. She's out. Maybe she's got some permanent fucking circles around her legs. But fuck her, she deserves it. Whatever. Lesson learned. So, she couldn't get it. Screaming like a fucking hyena. Oh my God. And then she says, because kids, my thing is kids don't know manners and I'm a manners guy. So if you're not saying please and thank you, I can't hear you talking. Unfortunately, it's how I was wired. So she's like, someone fucking help me. Someone help me. Fucky fuck fuck. And I'm just like, ah. And she's like, who laughed at me? What the fuck? And so more people start leaving. And I'm like, and then there were 9. So every time her friends leave, at one point, everyone started leaving. Really? And I was like, holy shit, this chick really is a bad person. No one's staying around. And I said, unfortunately, I did say all of this out loud because I'm an asshole, but I'm whatever. Lessons will be learned. So eventually, we're in a nice town. What I mean by that is if there's a problem, especially if a white kid's in trouble, the fucking fire department's going to show up. And they did. First of all, the fire department's 2 blocks away from the swing set. So they sound their siren whenever they get a call. I don't know who called because all these kids went in different directions right before the siren. All right, chick, we're going to go get some water for you. I'm going to go over here and get some lubrication. My dad's got some anal ease. I'll be right back. So everyone kind of scattered. Well, then this big siren goes off. Like the fire department was just notified of an emergency. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm hot. It's time to go. It's time to move.
Right. Yeah, you hear that? You know, it's time to leave.
Right. So the first one, I'm like, let's hang. We're okay. And then it goes off again. And I'm like, all right, someone's definitely on the way. Right. So the woman sitting next to her, she says to me, this is how I know I wasn't being an asshole. I said, she's like, they're screaming. And she's like, yeah, we were here the other day and that same group of kids was jumping somebody, beating the shit out of them. She's like, so you don't need to help them. I was like,
Really?
I said, I wasn't going to help them anyway. Like that. And so then all of a sudden the fuzz, like it really starts becoming a thing. So anyway, we dip out, go across the street. My lady and I go across the street, and we're sitting in the car trying to watch. And she's like, we should leave. We should leave. I'm like, 2 words, comedy, gold. This is comedy gold. Even if I can't make it funny, someone could, and it's funny. So I'm going to watch. We end up standing in the baseball field. One cop car shows up. Another cop car shows up. He goes over there with his face mask on because happy COVID. It gets a little weird. And then a rescue truck shows. The cop tries to jiggle. Like picks her up and she's like, ow, fucky, well, she wasn't cussing then. Ow, it's just like you're stepping on a squeaky toy. Like, any case, finally the good shit shows up. The first rescue truck, the second rescue truck, and then the light truck. That's right, folks. They brought the big shit out. They brought that big ass truck with the, you have the front end that steers from the back end. They brought everything. They put a light set up. Beep, 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 beep. Lights, tons of lights. It was really? I was upset because the fire truck was obstructing my view, which, the governor's going to hear about that one. But in any case, I moved over a little bit because I can walk and I got a better view. And so they got the lights on. They have about 16 fire rescue people. This is a brand new swing set paid for by taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
They come out there with the eventually 5 minutes in, jaws of life. No really? Shit. I was like, yo, they're not even going to try to get this chick out. Like, they don't give a shit. They're just going to go for it. So they pop, they pop the bolts so she can get down. She looks like a baby giraffe, like trying to roller skate. This looked hilarious. So they laid her down on the ground, and I'm like, move out of the way, I can't say. And they didn't know who said it because I'm in the shadows. Kind of funny. In any case, they cut the swing down, and then I don't know, I was like, is she dead? Did she die from a swing incident? She's not moving. I don't know. By this time, every corner is full of people. There's nothing going on. It's COVID. What? Someone's having a problem? Let's watch. So I'm the first one there. I know what's going on. I'm like, that's fucking great. So then apparently they cut the swing off of her, right? And I don't know much about firemen, but my lady used to screw a bunch apparently. She says they're kind of aggressive and they're assholes. It's good to know. So in any case, they cut the swing off of her, and the firefighter, in a very Viking way, just takes the swing and just chucks it. Like, I did my job. Like a porn star ripping off a condom and sticking it to the wall. I was just like, then I was like, and then she got free. And I don't know who. I hope that they're getting a bill, because it's like, holy shit. But they just ruined, it was a $1,000 swing. You just know it was because they charge ridiculous amounts of money for shit like that. Right. So they just cut the swing to shit. Homegirls like, ooh, the 3 friends that are left, they're all hanging out. She's not saying fucky fuck anymore because she's been humbled, which is cool. And so she thinks she got away with it. Well, as soon as she stands up, I'm like, ah! I'm like the only one. And everyone else is looking around. I'm like, they did it. They were cheering. So I told my lady, I was like, when we leave, let's go around the block and go by, see the scene of the crime. Let's get the whole story. And so this girl's walking with her friends, and I was like, and this is me being an asshole. I was like, I hope you learned something aside from fucking up my night. I was like, you jerk. And she was like, what the fuck? Just like, that's all I could do. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, perfect. She didn't learn shit. This is great. So that was my Friday night. On Saturday, the next day, I'm on my way to an amusement park. My family's in the car. A bunch of, if anyone remembers one of the Batman movies, it was all glow paint, motorcycles. It was the Batman and Robin where George Clooney played Batman. Any case.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
There was 17 of these motorcycles. There were 17 of these motorcycles in dirt bikes on the interstate. Jackasses. They were on the side of the road. They're playing bingo, and then there was some shit, and they decided to get back on the road and drive down the interstate and made a mess. This one jack-off has his helmet on top of his head. We're all doing 70 or 80 miles an hour after they get back on the road there in their little cute little dirt bikes. And they're all riding around, you know, doing dumb shit. Homeboy's helmet flies off his head. Just boop, up in the air, hits the ground, and it lands right in front of my car. I got nowhere to go. So I'm just like, center on the object and move forward. So I just went over the object, and you know, my car, I have a Subaru, enough lift, so I drove over it okay. But I look back, and I'm like eye contact at the same time, and the helmet goes under. I watch the guy watch his helmet. It goes under the car. I'm just like, he looks at me right before I hit it. I go over his helmet, and I'm like, kind of like, I was like last time, I'm like, yeah, commitment. I'm going for the helmet. And he looks at me. He's like, I'm like, ah! And I hit the helmet, and it kicks out the back of the car. It's like, and it's like, and I didn't know what to do, so I just did one of these. And kept going. And my mom's in the car and everything. I'm like, fuck you, okay? So I don't know what the fuck that was all about. I really wanted to pull over and just be like, ha ha, but I couldn't. I had to keep going. Roller coasters to ride. Last thing happened. Sitting in an intersection, and I'm looking at this object in the turning lane. It's not a car, it's an object in the turning lane. You know the white line where you're supposed to stop? It's laying on the white line. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, I know what it looks like, but that can't be what it is. And I'm looking at it, and then someone drives over it in the turning lane, and it flops. And I'm like, that's a fucking dick. That's a dick in the street. That's a dildo. It wasn't a real dick. I mean, Lorena Bob would only get it, you know, but anyway, she didn't strike back.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part. The neighborhood that it was in was a prominent, where the honkies live, you know, upper middle, blah, 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 all the white people shits over there. So in any case, I thought it was kind of funny because it was a black dick, a big rubber black dick in a prominently white fucking neighborhood. And I was just like, ha ha. So I just imagine this, like some girl just like, fuck, ow, I lost my fucking black dick, fuck. I just think it all ties into this chick. I'm like, not only did she get stuck in a swing, she lost her fucking dildo in an intersection.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a hard night. It's a hard night for her. Well, I mean, it's not a hard night anymore because she doesn't have her dildo, but
semi-hard night.
Yeah, it's a rough night for somebody, you know.
Yeah, there's 5 minutes in the life of Tony G. Fucking crazy shit, man. Just open your eyes and look. There's some weird shit out there.
5 minutes. That's more 5 minutes.
Oh, fuck up. No, what are you? I'm working on my timing.
I'm just playing.
He's right. I fucking ramble, whatever.
Ramble.
Yep.
Speaking of rambling and rumbling, it's time of the show where we tell you the next album that we're going to review. And the next album, it's my turn because it was your turn last episode. So I'm going to pick an album from the band Mastodon, and it is Blood Mountain. And I don't know what year it came out, but it's a good fucking album, so that's the one I picked.
All right, you got to remind me. So yeah. So clearly that one's for the kids. So get the whole family in the minivan before you turn this shit on. Sounds like it's going to be a good one. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it, man. I dig some fucking heavy metal riffs. Does it work with weed?
Oh yeah, it's not. Right. It's not super heavy, but it is metal. So yeah, you'll see. It's definitely a drug album for sure.
All right. Well, that means we've come to the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's been fun. I'd like to thank Stacy's mom. I mean, she did a good job.
Yeah. She's got it going on.
I'd like to thank the Bill Hicks people. Thanks for letting me chop up some of his shit and get upset about it. You know, Bill Hicks is a fire starter for me. We learned tonight. I didn't know that. Maybe I should watch more Seinfeld. You know, calm down a little bit, maybe. Except Seinfeld's not my thing. In any case, check out Mastodon Blood Mountain. For next week, if you're going to watch with us, please do. Maybe I'll sweat a little less if the heat goes down. Who knows? Alex, you always look shiny, so I can never tell if you're sweating or not.
because I am sweaty. That's why I'm
So
so
I don't know what I'm doing on Instagram. I'm still trying to figure it out. So long story short, I'm on Instagram under Tony G, I believe. Alex is definitely on there. What is your Instagram handle?
Mine's just Alex Rios Comedian, but you can go to the this is the future Instagram. It is TITFU 69, and then neither one of us really do Facebook anymore because it's a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, follow us both on Instagram, and then follow this is the future, unfortunately, Instagram page TITFU 69. So yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's cool too.
We get it. We appreciate it either way. If you're watching this shit at work, then it's getting you through work, whatever your excuse is. If you have YouTube at $60 a month, you can listen to this shit without watching the video. Whatever your thing is, we definitely appreciate it. It's fun. And this has been another episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.